lost all my friends. This town, it's my kryptonite.
All I'm asking is that you give Smallville a little more time.
I'm saying, I'm looking for you. Wherever Lois Lane goes, Superman follows.
Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of Earth 2 Discusses Superman and Lois. It's your boy, Will Crosby, and I will be hijacking Patrick's show today. It's been a while. I feel like you guys haven't seen me in a while, so I decided, I'm going to take over Patrick's show, and let's see if I could do it better than Patrick. He's on the episode today with us, but I don't know. I don't feel like I want to hear him talk, so let's just go around and introduce everybody on the show. I'm kidding. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, sorry, I have a very busy work week, so that is why Mo is in charge and I'm broadcasting from a car.
All right, that's Patrick. We have Brooke and we have Roy. We also have Pluto. Hey, Pluto. Oh wow, did he look over here when I said his name? Pluto. Oh, you can't hear me. You have headphones on. I'm ridiculous. The episode is titled. I'm sorry. What did Patrick say?
Did Pluto watch the Snyder Cut?
Yeah, he watched it with us.
What's his review?
Not enough dogs. Misrepresentation.
Are there any dogs in the Snyder Cut?
Exactly.
If there were any dogs, the dogs would have been like brutally murdered because just brutally murdered. Nah, but seriously, can we get to a point where we talk about a really, really good Clark Kent? Because I think this episode features a lot of Clark Kent or Dad Kent that I liked. The Best of Smallville is the title of this episode, and before we get into it, I'm going to ask everyone what they really, really enjoyed about this episode. I would start with Patrick, but again, I don't feel like hearing him talk. So let's start with Roy.
What's something I really enjoyed about this episode?
Just something you really enjoyed about the episode.
I think that the family dynamics remained strong, and I appreciated like the ways in which the show remains centered around those dynamics.
Right. Bree?
Same.
Okay.
Pretty much the same.
Oh, I like that Smallville itself still shows that it has some Smallville-ness in the character. And yeah, of course, the family dynamics. I really like the brothers. Again, I like that the brothers, as Roy has really coined this phrase, they bend but they don't break. Like their relationship stuck together. But yeah, we kind of got a little fuller picture of the town, and I was curious to see what it looked like. We don't really get to see Smallville, the town, very much in Superman's adulthood, right? Like, it's a very important setting for his childhood, but then as soon as you get to adult Superman, you usually just see the farm and that's it. So seeing the town, in his adulthood was interesting to see his dynamic.
Roy's over here dying, and oh man, of course he would come in late. Anthony, what's up, Anthony? What's good, guy?
Always on time.
Okay, sorry, I'm sorry. This is Anthony's on time. Anthony, I was asking everyone what they like, what the most enjoyable thing. I really want to see how this is going to work. Remember, you can't take your helmet off on camera.
It's a straw, right? That's what whatever the name of the Mandalorian on the show does. So
yeah, you can't take your helmet off. So how are you gonna do this?
That beer is good.
I'll be back.
Anyways, okay, he'll be back. Okay, I'll just go ahead and say what I really enjoyed. I am loving the brothers. I'm loving the brothers, but I think I'm really liking John.
Wow.
I am. I love the brothers. I love.
He did it on camera.
I know he did.
He did it on camera.
Face, by the way, you saw your face. So
it's not done yet. I just put the visor on, so I'm getting ready for next season of Mandalorian. That's what we came to talk about, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but I really like John. I think to me he represents. It's like him not having powers and him having he's the popular one, right? He's the popular kid, and he just gets all of that like taken away from him. His girlfriend breaks up with him, but I think he's the best of the two with the situation. And I don't know, I kind of really like him. His jealousy does peek through a little in this episode, but again, he's supposed to be like 15, 16. So I'm not mad at it, but I really so I'm liking the brothers a lot. Anthony, what part of what did you enjoy from this episode? Just one thing.
Even though I think this is like the weakest episode we've seen so far, this kind of reminded me. Anybody remember the old cartoon Galaxy High?
Not old.
Yeah, you're on your own, buddy.
It's about these people from Earth. They go to a school and they go to school in space, and the athlete from Earth thinks he's going to be popular in space, but he's not. The book recluse becomes a popular one, and he gets regulated to like nerd status. Anyway, I thought that's what they were doing in this series. I think they just wanted to give him a plot, and I don't know. I forgot he had a girlfriend out of town, honestly. So I don't know,
man.
His one distinguishing trait, besides not having powers, for the previous episodes. So
right, and football. But so that's the one thing we all liked. What's the one thing we didn't like? I'll start. Luther. Like, I forgot he was a character on the show until he just walks into he just walks in and just talks to. For as strong as the writing has been, it's CW, but for as strong as the writing has been, and as strong as they've made Lois seem, someone walks in and just gives you a name and tells you and you're just like, okay, and you're a reporter, they're from another paper or publishing house, and you don't, you just don't check up on them or. Like,
he didn't even have a badge.
Like, oh, I'll give you my card. Just call me when you have a story. Like, okay, cool. I didn't like that, and I don't like Luther, period. So that's the one thing I didn't like.
I don't like superhero fighting somebody with power similar to him stuff. And I know I've said it, and I think Rawr said it too. It's just I don't know. It's kind of lazy, and with the budget they obviously have, they could have went really creative with it. And I get that maybe the Superman fights aren't their focus, but it's kind of weak. I immediately lost interest. I'm
starting to think that the Superman fights are not their focus. Like, it's everything else, and then yeah, we do have Superman on the show. So, Patrick.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say. What you were just saying is like the whole little Superman arc in this episode actually didn't even need to be there. Other than CW probably felt like, okay, we have to have a Superman beat at some point in every episode.
Right.
But it like actually didn't need to happen. It didn't really make a lot of sense. That whole part didn't need to be. I mean, Luther also dumb, particularly as I'm sure Roy's about to rant about being, married in the other world, Lois. But with the exception of that, the other thing it just didn't feel like you needed a Superman beat at all in this episode. And that could have been fine. You can be fine. Be secure in your identity, Superman and Lois.
Nope.
I'm sorry. Roy, you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both what you and Patrick said. Like, but the big thing for me was Lex Luthor. I hated everything having to do with him. And like, honest to goodness, like when it revealed the Lois thing, I was like, whoa, I'm done with the show. Like, I'm just like, no, they're going there. That's stupid. Like, it's so cliched. And then like, I kind of like the last note that they ended on. But I was like, okay, I'll come back. Like, I'm like interested with the like, oh my god, yeah, Jonathan. No, not Jonathan. Jordan getting his butt kicked by the the kid with the Xavier's uniform, like the DC Xavier's uniform. I'm like, all right, I want to see where this is going. Okay,
Right.
I'll come back for this. But the Luther thing really did. I'm like, I don't want to sit through like
He smashed
Luther
Alexa.
trying to seduce Lois and just like, no. It's just like, no, thank
What
you.
did Alexa do to deserve that beating? Now?
I know.
What did Alexa do to deserve that? She's just trying to give you directions.
Lex with Alexa.
Alexa be getting smart sometimes. I mean,
My Alexa's really nice. She says good morning after I tell my alarm to turn off. She says what temperature it is in the morning, you know, in Celsius. So for my Canadian wife, like it's all very kind.
Bree, what didn't you like? Okay, bye, Pluto.
Huh?
What didn't you like about the episode?
she's been zoned out
What did I not like? I didn't like that it seemed like that one journalist girl was not taking photos.
You know what?
That bugged me the entire time.
That is what she should have done. You know, I thought she was gonna die, and I thought that's why she didn't do it. Because it wouldn't have mattered. I thought she was gonna die.
That would have made me more mad because she could have sent photos to Lois and her death wouldn't be shit.
Has this show not killed anyone yet?
No, that one guy.
Martha.
Why did you say that name?
Yeah.
Why did you say that name?
Because she did.
Why did you? No, I think I have to know this. Why did you say that name?
He's gonna be remembered for standing still in a tornado and just willing himself to die. I think it's
I wonder how Pa Kent died in this universe.
He had a heart attack.
Had a heart attack.
Yeah,
he did.
That was in the pilot.
It could have been like Jonathan and Martha, or Martha and Jonathan, bitch, or something. Like,
no one
cared about him.
No,
I mean, he's been dead for a long time on this show.
Yeah,
right.
for some reason, he just stood in the middle of a tornado and didn't want anybody to help him. So we just had cardiac arrest because that's how we honored him.
Okay, all right. So, the other part that I think Patrick mentioned was about Smallville being a huge character in the episode. I like how, like, you know, they're not making this small town like huge. You know, it still feels like a community, still feels very small. Again, the title of the episode is The Best of Smallville. Do you think the episode lived up to that name, the title?
No.
Okay, let's hear it.
I didn't really get the feel that Smallville was part of the show, and maybe I need to rewatch these episodes. Are the same extras in the background or anything? I feel like, you know, and maybe it's harder for television, you know, getting extras and stuff like that to be consistent. But like, I don't know. Maybe if I felt like there was the same background characters around, Smallville can only have maybe 1,000 people, pretty much.
You forgot his girlfriend. How are you going to remember extras?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I didn't.
Got him.
It seemed like the whole point of the festival was just to have Jonathan unwelcomely touch Lana Lane's kid and that argument, and then it was over. Like, I don't know.
I totally disagree. I think there's a couple of things. I thought the festival was giving us for the first time exactly what you're asking for. The show is just on episode 5, so we haven't got much of that yet, and this is the first episode to give it to us. And you know what my favorite part is the opening of the episode where Superman, Clark, still celebrates this holiday by going around the world every year and like saving more people than usual. Like, it's his way of like continuing the tradition of this festival. I thought that was really cool.
That whole scene bugged me. That whole scene bugged me. So
Superman saving people bugged him.
No.
He likes. Don't you forget he likes Zack Snyder's Superman.
So what?
I'm kidding.
So first, after telling the boys to be careful, he's like gathering crops, swooping and flying real quick for no reason at all. I thought it was going to show him doing like manual labor the regular way.
Why the fuck would he do it the regular way?
Because he's telling the boys I was reckless.
At no point did Superboy ever do any of his labor as Superboy without using his powers.
But what kind of example are you setting for your kids?
Fuck that example. Get that shit done.
Football.
2. So let's say Patrick gets 2
He
saves.
has a farm.
Patrick
He'd
gets
have
2
to hire
saves.
work.
It's Smallville. Everything's flat. You know how far you can see? Like,
You can at least do it at night. So.
yeah. That doesn't make any sense. And the other part is, so like, y'all get saved on Monday, right? The week before the festival, y'all get saved like twice, like extra saving, right? But I'm in danger during the festival. And he's like, I already put my hours in, bro. I can't be going out to save you.
I stepped my hours.
Like, I work my overtime. You know, I can't put no more hours in the bill. You know how it is. I see
Superman's not an Amazon worker, okay? Like he
that's
can
how
take
it felt.
breaks.
That's how it, he's like. That's why I do extra saving. And again, I think they're gonna get to the point where he ignores a lot of shit. And I mean, he has to. But I think they're gonna get to the point.
No, I think he does ignore a lot of stuff, but he celebrates this holiday annually by just doing a little extra than he normally does. Maybe this is like the week where Superman actually does save cats out of trees and crap like that he would never normally do. And it's like a way of him like.
But
you're gonna get shot by the cops. You're an unarmed man about to get shot by the cops. Well, now I can add that to my list. I can add that to my list this week. It's good. I got you, bro.
The twist,
back
though.
in the day, when we used to work at Blockbuster on the weekend of Christmas, I used to just delete everybody's late fees. Everybody that came up on those days, I just deleted all their late fees. I was like, Merry Christmas.
Bye, Patrick. I'm muting you. Roy, you were saying.
What I was going to say is what I actually liked in this episode related to this, the twist that it's actually not about the festival, right? It's about his guilt about how he treated his mother, which I think, like, one of the things that I liked about what this episode did is it kind of did what Zack Snyder wanted to do in Man of Steel, which is what, you know, Superman goes on this like journey of self-discovery to figure out who he is and his humanity and his powers, but does it in a less dickish way, right? Where it's more about Clark's relationship with his mother and not like, I'm going to go be a super jerk for, 10 years before I figure out I'm going to be Superman. Right. Like I think that's kind of what they're setting up here. And is what I like. I really like that emotional note with Clark throughout the episode, that it's not so much about Smallville really as a character. It's about Martha Kent and his relationship with her and losing time with your mother and how these teenage disagreements with an important person in your life, particularly one who just died, can really feel like you lost time that you would desperately want back. You know, you're sitting at 40 and your mother just passed away. You want that time back. And then you're also the sons who was pushing away from him. I think they handled that really subtly while also tying it to important parts of the Superman mythos. And again, that's really playing into the show's strength.
Right.
I thought it was really interesting that in this version, his mom gives him the crystal.
Bree, what did you think about the festival, and if the episode lived up to the name of the if the episode lived up to the title? Yeah.
Best of Smallville.
Wow, never mind.
You can't get on me about not knowing the girlfriend's name. We did the title like 17 times. What are you doing?
I have a slight bias against small towns, so I don't think I should say.
I mean,
I want to hear this.
Now I'm interested in hearing this.
What's the bias?
No, they sound horrible. Okay,
Is it the fried cheese?
I could not live in a small town. I could not. But yeah, I mean, like, I guess it's great for you want to try it. You can try it. You can try camping. You can try a lot of things.
I want to go to a grocery store.
Background.
You know what I think? I think
who knows?
I actually I liked it, and I felt like it did. I felt like the festival and everything just. Again, I'm with Patrick where he's as Superman, he's still excited about the little things. And I think that's what this episode does really well is Superman is this larger than life character, but they still manage to make him small and fit into like regular things. Where some other people would want to make Superman like a god and make him like larger than life, no names, no like he wants like he's a god, but no, he's still and even where his like relationships are so godlike, but it's like No, he's a dad. And while Anthony's saying he's gonna ignore stuff, yes, he is. But if you've been following, he's been charged with being present in his children's in the kid's life. And maybe he doesn't save a cat out of a tree today because I want to spend time with John and Jordan. I'll do it tomorrow. And I feel like yes, because he wanted to show his family this tradition in Smallville and how he was so excited about it. And I think they made Anthony fix your face, and they made it about him. You know, again, as Roy said, you know, tying up, you know, him leaving and the smaller things, or you know, the arguments with his mom, and you know, him trying to be Superman before he could be Superman. You know, stop the robbery and all those things. And I think I think it tied really well into the title of the episode. And I think yes, if you take out the silly bench, but the bench is small town, right?
No,
But
the bench is realistically something that would
yeah,
happen.
Oh, the bench is 100% something that. I mean, it sucks. It's a crappy bench, but like that's kind of small town.
It might last 20 years. You know,
some homeless person is gonna pee and poop on that bench. With your
Some
mom
teenager is
on.
gonna carve their
It's a
first
small
boyfriend into it,
town.
and then cross their first boyfriend out and write their second boyfriend, cross them out, write their third boyfriend. Like there's like a bench at my dad's small town that he's from that's like that has like 4
You're
different
gonna see
people.
R
across
plus
it.
L, like so many R plus L's on there.
Be realistic.
Yeah.
This is a small town in middle America. It's gonna be a meth bench. Like just keep it.
Yeah,
So wait. So I liked what I liked about showing him as a kid, and I did like the actor who's playing Superman is phenomenal. Like I can't, even when I don't like the storyline that's going on with him, he plays them great.
I think him playing Clark is the better part of the he knocks it out the park.
Every time, best Superman we've had in a long time, and I think that, or best Superman and Clark that we've had in a long time. That's the key.
Yeah.
And what I like about this kid is, and I can't remember who said the line. It might have been Lois when he was like, I should have been more patient. Or he's like, we're all selfish little like dicks at that age. Yeah, they're teenagers. And I think that a lot of like parents, especially, forget that we were all kind of selfish. Like we were all unrealistically selfish at a certain point in our lives, and it's okay. And just seeing how Martha reacted to that, and how that informed how Clark reacted to.
Bree, just in case you missed it, that's for you.
I'm sorry, did you mute me?
No,
I said
he
in
put
case.
the episode title.
The episode title is right there. Just in
Oh.
I misread it too.
Smallville.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I like that. There's some really good family therapy like buzzwords or like techniques ingrained to this show. Like I like when I see that writers are going to therapy. It makes a lot. I'm like, oh, I see what you did there. You sat in camp and I got you. So that's all. I like that part.
All right. Next thing I want to talk about is I really I really don't like giving time to Lana, or maybe I just don't like this version of Lana. But her family and all that's you know, their dynamic is something that's also important to this. It's also something that's important to this show. But how do we feel about Lana? How do we feel about her family, her daughter? Like, do we care? Do we like them?
I mean, I like Sarah. Like, she seems nice. But definitely the single like grossest moment of the episode was the drunk dad like laying his garbage here. Have you ever heard of a thing called generational trauma?
Yeah.
Pass it on to you. I'm just like, oh no. Ugh, I wanted to take a shower after that scene.
Especially the song, and he started singing.
Yeah. I mean, it felt realistic having someone who has had drunk relatives say extremely awkward and horrible things and ask you to be a combination of their therapist / like the future for your family line. I understood that feeling, and I was like, no, don't like this. This is too realistic. This is no. Mm-mm.
Oh, I want to get Anthony's take on this. I feel like he has so much to say.
No, I actually don't have anything to say.
Wow.
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 No, I think the dysfunction in their family and how it's affected their daughter is very interesting. I think that I think there's some family therapy lessons in here where if you try to pretend everything is okay and don't actually and try to fix the symptoms instead of actually fixing what the core hurts are, the core problems are, that leaks out. Those things leak out. It's kind of like when you put a water hose into a gallon milk jug, right? It can only take so much, and then it starts spilling out of your control or bursting altogether. And I think that we're seeing that. I also think that it's interesting how people that feel like they're damaged or broken look at other people's families as perfect. And her rant, and that was very interesting. We have a tendency to look at another situation and only see the polish, right? Just like in her situation, people probably only, oh, your dad's the chief firefighter, your mom's, chief banker or whatever, but the most popular woman in town. And you're perfect. So it's very interesting, and it's a very teenage thing to do. Like, I don't really find her character interesting, but like, it's also a pretty realistic reaction to the things that she's going through and trying to process. And that's what her and Jordan have a lot in common in that way. Okay, maybe I did have a lot to say. All right.
You kind of did. So now we had our baddie of the week, our bad guy of the week, who happened to be what's her name's son. He's back.
Skipped me. Whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The one thing I had time to say.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna be myself.
I think that's all to you, Bree.
I like the whole family of Lana's, actually. Not because I think they're great or anything, but because I think they are the foil almost to Clark's family. What the fuck? Where did everyone go?
I think he made you
so that pressure spotlight all on you.
Oh,
because
that's your time. I'm giving you all of it.
That's
so
I'm gonna count the Winnies in the background while you talk.
count them. Yeah, here, wait. Count all of them. No, but I actually really like them because I think they're like just a hot mess overall. And that's not just on the drunk dad. Like, I thought it was kind of rude of Lana to not understand that he was going through something. Like, she was just focused on him being drunk, which is like a bad thing with them and all that. But like, he was also worried about his friend in the hospital. And she just made it about herself and this festival thing that no one really cared about in my eyes. Like, she was like, oh, they're gonna come look for me. I'm like, I don't think anyone would notice. And like, it just made more tension for the kids when, like, I don't know. I just thought it was unnecessary on her. And then like, when she went to the festival, she just straight up lied to these people anyway. So I want to see how it goes out. Because at the last time we saw them, they like were friendly. And then
she came down and she made he was making breakfast or something. It felt good.
So you thought she wasn't supportive in that moment of him processing the potential, the harm and potential career-ending injury of his friend. Even if drinking is a problem in their household, you felt like that was the appropriate time to broach that particular subject.
I think the way she went about it was wrong. Because like, yes, like he shouldn't have come home drunk. But like, and like the whole scene with the daughter was fucking weird as hell. But like, this whole family is a mess. They all need therapy. It's not just Sarah who needs the therapy.
Wait. If you don't go home drunk, where do you go?
Nowhere. Don't go. But like, I don't know. I felt like for once he had a valid reason to be upset. And like, just like he wasn't supportive of her in the last episode, she wasn't very supportive of him in this one.
As if his feelings weren't valued or had any agency whatsoever.
Everyone does need therapy.
Everyone needs therapy.
Even if you're...
Everyone needs therapy.
I don't know. I like seeing the messed up family in contrast with how the Kents do it. Because even after Jonathan's whole like yelling at Clark about how mad he was because like honestly, like it's been coming. I've been waiting for it.
Yeah, it's
he has lost everything that it matters to a teenager. And then like losing the girlfriend was just like the last straw for him, and like that was like the one thing he had that was his no matter what. Because like he was like, come on, Dad, let Jordan play football. He's making friends for once. Like, let him do it, even if it was his thing, which I would never. I would have been like, nah, that's my shit. My brother can find something else. But he did that, and then he lost his girlfriend, and then he complained about losing football, but wasn't mad at Jordan for it.
Also, Jordan wasn't mad. Jordan let him rant, even though he ruined his first date. Like Jordan was still like, "Come on, man, let's walk it off, get you some water." Which in other dramas, he'd be like, "Oh, you always let me have this." Like they don't do
No,
that.
they were like
They're like the
gross.
best brothers ever.
It's great.
So
Well, I mean, the dynamic does play similar to a lot of twins that I know. Like a lot of twins tend to be a bit more forgiving of their siblings than other people are. So I mean, might just be the twins I know. Maybe not you, Aunt, but I'm just like the few compared to my sister and I and other siblings.
I have twins in my caseload and I have twins in my family. They can forgive a lot, but their fights also get real fierce and real.
I also feel like that's coming. I feel like that's coming as well. Like, yes, they're kind of perfect right now, but I feel like at some point it's gonna boil over.
I wouldn't call them perfect.
Well, you know, close. You know, they're like the best brothers ever.
They're more functional.
Like very functional.
Well, because like I said, it was because any other drama, if he had ruined his first date, she would have ran off.
They would have fought.
They would have fought. There was someone been swinging, and there was something. He was like, "Nah, bro, let's just go."
Yeah,
he was like, he had a rough day, and then she went. And again, I see another thing I didn't notice it before, or I didn't think about it before, is no one's recognizing each other's pain, and we go to degrees of pain. Like, oh, my parents got divorced. Oh, one of my parents died. Oh. Like, you don't have a right to be upset because this is happening to me and this out.
And Depression Olympics.
Yes, and
Depression Olympics, I guess in this case.
And it's really interesting. Like, if like Batman's family parents can get killed, and he affects
dog.
And then Superman's whole civilization can blow up, and it affects him a whole different way. And the pain is real, and I think that's something we're seeing. Everybody is having a certain type of pain, but like different people aren't valuing that pain or not accepting that pain has agency at all. So yeah,
Yes, I would say that like I don't think Sarah got the chance to tell Jordan why she was upset, and I think if Jordan had known, he would have understand why John coming over drunk was just like I know, because like when I first watched it, I was like, damn, why's she so mad? Like he didn't even say anything that bad, and then he immediately apologized even as he was drunk. But
he also touched her.
Yes, and she was like, it was, I think that was the jarring point of it. So he touched her.
Really triggered. I had a thought, but I lost it.
Right. I mean, her dad had just been drunk and invaded her space.
Yes.
Like, in an hour in Showtime and one scene to go for us. So it was a lot. Like that whole sequence, both in a fun way and in an unfun way, it landed very realistically.
Yes.
Because I mean, drunk teenage white boys, like going in and ruining their friends' dates. That's just something that happens. Like,
they ain't just white boys. They ain't just white boys.
so definitely was a real scene to me.
So one of the things, I was actually in a training today about transference and countertransference, and when you're transferring one set of emotions from one person to another, and it can happen a lot in therapy, and countertransference can happen for therapists to patients and things like that. And it's really interesting, those triggers. She wasn't really yelling at Jonathan. Jonathan wasn't the person that she was going after. It was her dad. And so I don't know. I think, like I said, I really, for how I thought this was the worst episode so far, and I won't say it's bad, but it was my least favorite of the episodes.
It wasn't the best one out of all 5.
Right. There were still some nuances in there that was great.
A lot.
Even though I still don't like this Lana Lang. I don't know what it is. Something about her. It just doesn't click to me.
Yeah, she's not I don't know. Maybe she's not landing to me. But okay, so I guess we could talk about the week's bad guy or this week's bad, because I think we're always gonna have a bad guy of the week or monster of the week. I didn't really care. if the entire episode happened without the monster of the week, I think I'd have been fine. There are two things that would have happened if they took out of this episode would have made the episode better or just more okay. Was Luthor happening and the bad guy of the week? Because again, like Anthony said, Superman fighting someone that was Superman didn't matter much, and I think with this show, I think maybe with this season, we're gonna see a lot of I think the budget is not gonna let us see huge set pieces or like fights or it's just gonna be a lot of whooshing and flying and it didn't make any sense. He started the fire and when he went in the machine and she didn't strap him down, I was like, oh, this is kind of stupid. I don't know why I noticed that, but
Restraints.
You don't put anyone in the machine and don't restrain them because you're expecting but
What?
He wanted to go in the machine, so normally when people get stuck in those kind of machines, they don't want to be in the machine.
Okay, so I guess that's what the restraints are for. Is when they don't want to go.
What restraints are going to hold them? Like what? I don't know.
And my thought was, as soon as he landed, why didn't he destroy the machine?
I was so mad at that.
Yeah.
Chase that guy. Like the machine is there. The special rocket there. The other way. Why are you chasing him?
He was there enough time for him to say, take care of the asset and fly off. Because two things happened.
And then Superman's super hearing didn't hear that to take care of the asset. Why don't you go after the asset?
Or destroy the machine, do this thing. Like obviously he's leading you away. You're freaking Superman. Like you're an experienced Superman at this point.
The machine is giving people superpowers. Like you should blow the machine up and then later let Star Labs, whoever, whatever, sort the rubble out and go chase him.
Help that shit and then go find him.
And the thing is, he didn't even need to find him because you could just Lane is finding all of these guys.
Also, his girlfriend is right there. So if you arrest her, he's going to want to rescue his girlfriend. And so eventually he's going to come around to want to mess with you. So
but she also has power. So
this is why Superman needs Batman.
You know what?
Oh, please. Batman would have chased after the villain too.
No, Batman would have done would have thrown a batarang first and then chased after. He would have. It would have been a 1-2,
Did he have enough prep time though?
He didn't have a lot of prep time.
Superman didn't have enough prep time. He just overheard the phone call and was like, "Oh, I got to be there."
Superman just likes to fight. Think you're doing this for justice? I just like to fight.
But during the chase, Luthor and Alexa, were in the mix. They shot him down. Again, okay, so this is my beef with Luthor, right? Bro, he's not even bad here. What are you doing?
He's not even bad here.
He needs to ask Alexa, what is self-fulfilling prophecy? That's what you need to ask yourself. So come on.
What is your beef?
Has they said his name is Lex yet, or just Luthor?
Commander Lex, or General Lex, or something?
But I wonder if Alexander Luthor and not Lex Luthor. In the comics, there's an Alexander Luthor from an alternate universe, and there's Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor, yeah.
And I wonder.
They're both Alexander. It's just
they're. But you know what I'm talking about. But either way, the minute it was about I was married to Lois, another timeline, I instantly
that was hilarious.
I was like
that was literally and I think that's the worst.
So Lex Luthor's simping. Lex Luthor is simping pretty much. Good to know, man. Good to know. Go to another universe where she never met Clark.
It's also just doubly funny after watching the Snyder Cut, where they're like, Lois Lane is the most important person in the world. And apparently she's the most important person across all DC universes.
Literally. It makes... Lois is really the key.
I've only really liked two versions of Lois Lane. So, I mean...
Which ones?
So, the animated series Lois Lane and the... Lois and Clark, Dean Cain, Superman, Lois Lane.
I like that Lois.
Yeah.
I kind of like this Lois.
I like this Lois. The
I
actress
like
is
her.
good.
She
I don't
has
think they
like
know
a
what to do
lot.
with
She has like a lot of agency.
It's because she lives in a small town now.
He has a lot of agency, but to do what? Like this is like I don't imagine. So Lois Lane moving to Smallville to work at a small paper. I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around that. I don't really picture Lois Lane doing that, and you could do so much more with the character. It's not like this is the 1960s. Like you could live in Smallville and still do worldwide stuff, or travel someplace to do investigations, or hunt down. Like she doesn't have to be there, and that could be a dynamic all its own. You guys want to live here, but I'm still a reporter, so I'm leaving, coming back, leaving, coming back.
But
Clark
then
doesn't take on more
She
responsibility.
be working for Edge.
Hmm?
There's no world where Lois Lane would be working with or for
Look,
Edge.
Lois would have a Substack. Like, come
Yeah.
on, like that's.
I mean, she could get there's so many other things. She's like the world's most famous reporter in the DC universe. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just the whole working for the small town, Smallville Gazette or whatever that's called. That never really. It doesn't really land with me.
Are they really loaded? Because like, what are they living on for right now? Because we know Superman isn't.
So that's my other thing. Superman, like they haven't sold any crops or anything like that. They haven't no income. I mean, they could have that good savings, I guess. But like, so this is my problem with Superman being poor, right? Or not? He could just go and get a bunch of diamonds, sell them, and spend his time with his family.
He doesn't even have to go get diamonds. He just needs some coal.
Some coal, yeah, saying like, all right. We'll pretend the farm
you need a
land.
PlayStation 5, John? Go get yourself a PlayStation 5.
And I'm going to spend all my time raising y'all. And while I'm raising y'all, I will take time to go save the world too. And this is what I will focus on, especially you, because you're angsty and have superpowers, and we know where that can go. No, you can't visit your Uncle Bruce no more. You stay here. Stay here.
They were gifted some Wayne Enterprise stock that pays a solid dividend every year, but it's not a spectacular amount of money, enough that they can live comfortably, but they can't be, Lois still has to work. Clark still needs some part-time stuff there. But
okay, so
they're independently middle class. They're independently middle class. I like
the story that we're going with.
Yeah.
All in all, this episode worked for me. Again, I feel like we've had better, but it worked. There's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of good in this episode. There's just bad that this stuff. I don't even know if there's bad. It's just this stuff that was like, I don't care about. But there's a lot of good. The family moments in this episode, like again, where I thought Clark was gonna be like a stern dad, I just wasn't expecting him to be. You know what? I get it. I'm not gonna put I think even Lois was surprised with the way they played it. She was like, "We're not gonna punish you." Like, when did we decide this? I feel like there's a lot of decision making from Clark Kent that Lois isn't involved in.
So that was
like that.
I think that some people go, "Oh, he didn't punish the kid. That's great." But the fact that he didn't talk to his partner, fellow like co-parent about that, like that was kind of. That's
the part.
And I get what you're saying. Like you're having a bad day, but there still needs to be concrete boundaries. And I'm not saying, there should. Yeah,
underage drinking, and you were visibly drunk, and
a lot of things could have happened.
Yeah.
So at least he should have talked to his partner first, I thought. But I get it. He was trying to understand what he's going. And again, out of everybody, well, him and Lois, I guess, have we should have the hardest adjustment to go into this town. So
I don't know if he would. I think Lois would.
You're talking about John, right?
Oh yeah, Lois and John. Yeah.
They have the hardest time transitioning to this town. No, Clark's loving this. But you're also Clark is Superman. He can go anywhere in the world in seconds to minutes.
Chill.
So
him just chill. Like he needs a vacation.
Right.
He's having sushi for lunch in Japan, and then
everybody like Jonathan and Lois are the ones stuck, and what's his name is loving it because he's the first time he's actually popular, and
he's a football player.
He's
in the friend zone, but
friend. Right. That's
what I was going to say. She needs to stop messing with that boy.
No, she really does. She does.
She needs to stop. And I think they need to there was this part that I don't know if y'all watched Glee. There was a part in Glee where somebody one of the characters like, stop hitting on him. He said no. There needs to be a part where like, if you do not want to date this young man, stop teasing him with dates. Say we are friends and keep that boundary there. I think there needs to be like he was wrong for kissing her without any kind of like
Consent.
She's wrong for like this mixed like signal, like don't get this boy's hopes up. Don't get.
But I think she's okay. So great. In that scene, do you think she set the boundaries and was like, you know what, just friends, right? Is that what she did? Because I feel like that's what she did right there.
If she does and keeps it, and it's not next week, she's making like, you know what? Let's go to the dance. Let's go to the school dance together. like
a friend can go to the dance together.
I still got a chance. Like,
no, friends can go to the dance together. It's on John to like, be like friends.
This is my meta perspective, right? I'm not inside the scene, but my meta perspective is this boy doesn't know, like, he don't know. I don't even think he understands the friend zone. I think he still thinks he got a shot. Like.
My meta perspective is in the toxic CW dating culture. If the girl that's been introduced as your love interest tells you, "Oh no, we should just be friends," early on, then that's like, okay, cool, things are gonna work out. It's at the end. It's at the end if she's like, "No, let's be friends." It's like, oh, the writers decided to go some other direction. It's the early rejection that the toxic CW culture.
Because
like,
Lana did friend zone Clark early on in Smallville.
Oh, my favorite Lana. Yeah.
I know
why. Yeah, she played some games with Clark.
She messed him up.
But Clark played games with Lex. Clark in Smallville drove Lex crazy. Like I believe that.
They should have just done it on Smallville. Like that was the whole thing. Like they just should have done it, and it would have solved a lot of their problems.
Right.
Look, Clark made Lex. Clark made Lex the way he was.
Right. Final thoughts on the best of Smallville? Wow. No final thoughts.
This wasn't the best of Smallville. This show was the best. This was the weakest episode. I am very worried about what's going to come based on what we've seen, because we've been talking about some of the things that we are seeing now. We were worried about this coming. With the kind of lackluster. I don't want to see an army of Supermen. I don't want to see an army of super teens. I don't, and that's what I'm getting. And the implications of being able to give people Superman's powers is like, I don't know. They do this a lot. They kind of did this to Supergirl. You have an army of Kryptonians. Like, it's very hard for me to believe how you stop them. You know. So I don't know.
At least so far, it looks like they're unstable. So
yeah, maybe.
So you tire them out,
because this one he pretty much displayed all of Superman's powers, right? The guy he fought, and then the kid at the end that ambushed Jordan. He looked to display more powers than him. I just don't care about. I don't care about that plot. I don't care about Lex. I don't like this Lana really. Yeah, it's just that. But there's some great things still in it. But those are things that worry me.
Final thoughts? Anybody else?
I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Based on our chat, I thought I was going to like this episode a lot less than I ended up liking it. But it had like kind of high highs, which are like the character moments that we talked about, and then low lows, like all the stuff with the villains.
Right.
So in many ways, it was the best of the show Smallville, where, it had good character moments where you're like, oh, I like these characters. Okay, cool. I like the Superman mythos, and then terrible villains. So it really was no different than the show Smallville, just with better production values.
All right.
Thank you.
What did the trailer show for next week? What's the story points they showed for next week?
I actually don't have that, so maybe next week.
My definitely legal version of the show that I watched doesn't have the trailer for next week.
No, even on the CW app, I don't believe it has that.
Yeah, I didn't see one.
Yeah,
I didn't know
the app doesn't have it. You actually have to watch it while it's airing on TV to see that. But, yeah, I will find it. I will try to find it and I'll send it into the chat. Anyways, am I still here? Yes, I'm still here. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for letting me hijack Patrick's show. Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Ant, for coming late. Appreciate it.
Shade, man, just shade. Yeah, I was early at the time we decided, and y'all wanted to push stuff back. Y'all know what
Don't blame me. Bree needed 3 more minutes.
I was ready to go.
I
I'm
didn't
just
even
saying.
like the concept of time.
Roy and I were sitting
3
here-
minutes.
Roy and I were sitting here waiting on everybody else to come.
Look, I said, okay. I literally said 3 minutes. Sat down, started looking at charts. I looked up and I was like, oh man. Look. You don't start when you tell me the first time. Then that's us on you. And a lesson.
Finishing an
You
episode.
were here. The link was up, so that's on you.
Fuck you,
But no, thank you again to you guys. Thank you for those that are watching. Thank you to those that are going to be looking or listening on the podcast side of things. We will catch you next week for episode 6. Bye.
I lost all my friends. This town, it's my kryptonite.
All I'm asking is that you give Smallville a little more time.
Miss Lane, I'm looking for you. We're below a Lane.
Oh,